20's. I'm your host, Micaiah Davis, and today's episode is about fatherhood in our 20's. So I have Ray and Avery here with me to talk about being a father in their 20's. Go ahead, say your name, your age, your child's name, and your child's age, too.
My name is Ray. I'm 26 years old. My son, Kai, is 19 months.
And I'm Avery. I'm 26 as well. I got a son named Ace, and he is three years. He turns 4 this year.
So both boy dads.
Boy dad.
So let's start from the beginning. Take me back to the day when y'all found out y'all had a child on the way. Was this a surprise or were y'all planning this? Talk to me about it.
I mean, me personally, I would say I was more so planning on having a child. What's that phrase? Like shooting the club up?
So you were doing it on purpose?
Yeah, so on purpose. I mean, my whole thing is I always wanted to be a young father. Like, I don't really know why, but it's always been like a goal of mine because I've always wanted a family. I've always wanted children. So I wanted to do that earlier in my life. So I guess I could relate more to my child as he or she got older as well. I've tried before my son too. I mean, we have miscarried before, so that wasn't the first time we were pregnant, but yeah.
Okay, so your baby was a blessing.
Blessing.
Yes, sir.
So what were y'all emotions? How was y'all feeling about? I know Ray, you said you wanted to, so
excited.
you were excited.
I was excited. I mean, like really excited. Like ain't really nothing else to say.
Man, me, I was like, man, like, you know, just the way my life was set up, I feel like I had overcome so much and stuff like that. So I was a little bit angry because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, I did everything that people said I couldn't do. I went to school, I graduated high school, I went to college, and you know what I mean? I was on my way. I actually found out that I got a job, and I had to choose between Chicago and Austin. And then the next day, you know, I find out. You know, yeah, so it's like I was happy for like a split second because, you know, I got this whole move going on, and then it's like, then my son came. It's like, now I'm not going to leave him hanging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to stay in the city and figure it out. So I was a little bit resentful at first until I had to grow up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom talked to me, my boys talked to me, like, yeah, you know, you got to get your shit right. And I'm just like, you know, yeah, like that is what it is. I didn't want to be just like a deadbeat dad, so I'm like, I gotta get it right.
But you felt like your stuff was gonna be put on pause because
for sure. It's just like, you know, it's like I've never had a kid before, so I didn't know what it entailed. I just saw my mama struggling, you know what I mean. So I'm like, man, I don't want this to be my life. I feel like I came so far, you know what I'm saying. So it was just like I was a little bit like I felt like I might be backtracking, but if anything, it's kind of propelled me to want to do better and stuff.
Exactly.
That's makes how you go harder for your child.
Yeah, for sure.
So we know that women go through a series of emotions while they're pregnant, even after, and Ray just touched on how y'all went through a miscarriage. So how did y'all handle those emotions from the mother of your child if you were present during that moment?
I would say for me, I always tried to like think of like my son's mom like as like my sister or my mom, like in a sense that I wouldn't want nobody to mistreat her during that time. I would want somebody to be there every step of the way. You know, like I just wanted to make sure that she felt supported. Now in the beginning, you know, it was just kind of like I'm only here when I need to be. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, you know, midway through, you know, me and her had a conversation, and it was like I thought that I was doing everything that I needed to do. But she didn't feel supported, so it was just like, you know, we just had that constant communication. Whenever I felt like she was tripping, we would be able to, you know, talk about it and stuff like that. But, I mean, for me, it was just, you know, basically looking within myself and being like, all right, like, you know, you just gotta thug it through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make sure that she's comfortable. You know what I mean? So that the pregnancy goes well. So.
How did you start supporting her though? Like, how did y'all support it?
Well, so for example, like, you know, I like made sure to be there all the time, like to make sure she needed, like whatever she needed, you know, if she needed me to go to a doctor's appointment, I was always at the doctor's appointments and stuff like that. But then even beyond that, like, you know, you need me to like come make you something, I got you, like, you know what I mean? And it just became that. and it like we can jump into this later, but it kind of caused some issues because like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like So
for me, I'm not the best at like expressing my emotion or like communicating all the time. So it's like it's something that I definitely have gotten a lot better at. But like Avery was saying, the whole thing is just being there. Like whether it's like physically in her presence or financially or emotionally, you know, like you just have to make sure you offer that support and be there for her when it's time to show up, you know. The mother of my child, she always told me like she really appreciated me during the whole thing, but during like the labor process, I mean, it was really tough for her, and she always told me like she don't know if she would have been able to do it if I wasn't there, you know what I mean? So it's like the little things go a long way in the long run. So yeah.
So how are y'all feeling emotionally? Like while they're going through all of these emotions and you have a baby on the way, how are y'all feeling emotionally, mentally?
I'll say for me, I was pretty much like even keeled, like you know what I mean. I was just I don't really remember feeling any emotions besides like I just gotta get it. I gotta get it. Like you know I gotta put myself in a position to where you know I'm not. You know, I'm young, but I'm able to provide, so I need to provide as much as possible, and I need to, you know, position myself to be the best dad possible. Like, so when it comes to even communicating with my son's mom, it was like more so me practicing for the future to be able to communicate and understand his emotions as well, because it's like, you know, I'm not an emotional person either, so it was just like, you know, that's kind of more what I was focused on was how do I become and position myself to be the best.
And I feel like as a man, it's a little more difficult because you always are like in the idea of go mode, like you want to grind, just to make sure that you offer that foundation for your family. So sometimes it is easy to forget. Like, like damn, I do have emotions, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I do have to be there in other ways as well. Right. And that's why I feel like having my son is like literally turned me into a whole different person. Like a complete 180. Like it's like it's insane sometimes when I think about it. Sometimes I don't even know how to describe it, you know?
Like how are you different?
Like I communicate way better. Like instead of running from if there's an issue between me and the mother of my child, like I just want to attack it. Like I want to sit right there in her face and just talk it out. I don't know. It's like growing up and being on the earth for 20 plus years. It's like you get stuck in your ways without even noticing it, and it's like I feel like I changed a lot in those aspects.
Yeah, I feel like I became a lot, I don't want to say softer, but just...
Yeah, go ahead, just say it.
Nah, it's not soft though, because I feel like, nah, but for real though, like, I feel like I just became a lot more, like, understanding, and, like, because, like, everything with me used to be black and white, you know what I'm saying, it's right or wrong, you feel me, and a lot of times it's like, it's a gray area, it's always a gray area, I feel like, you know what I mean, so, for me, it was just like, I had to become a lot more understanding in the sense that, like, yeah, you know, you are like in the past, it's like I understand you, but then it's still like if you do me wrong, it's a rap. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I get it, you human, but at the end of the day, it's this. But when it became, you know, I have a son and stuff like that with certain things with my son's mom, and just like, you know, being able to like talk to her and communicate with her and stuff like that, it's like you have to really become a lot more understanding and stuff like that to be able to deal with them type of situations, because everybody ain't like you, so.
That's good. It seems like it's a lot of growth.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk to me about the relationships y'all have with y'all father, if y'all have one.
Me and my pops, we real tight. Like I always used to tell my friends, like, cause when my parents were split up, when I was growing up, and I lived with my dad. My two sisters went and moved in with my mom. So always told my friends it was more like having a roommate instead of like, you know what I mean? But not, he was always a father. It's not like he was a pushover, but it was like we always clicked, got along, you know what I mean? I just feel like my dad's not good with his emotions, like at all. Like at all. So I feel like that's what rubbed off on me growing up. And I ended up kind of the same way, just like Avery said, like everything was like black and white. I didn't want to think too hard about stuff. Yeah. If I feel like somebody hurt me, if I felt hurt in any way, it was like kind of just, all right, separate myself. Don't really think too much about it or try to mend what was broken.
So do you look to your dad for guidance now, since you're a dad?
I look to my dad for guidance in a lot. Being a homeowner now, like doing the things that I'm doing, it's like he taught me how to change a tire, change brakes on a car, he taught me how to work a lawnmower, how to cut the grass. You know, all that stuff comes full circle now, and it really shows you like, dang, and us being both boy dads, it's like, that's gonna be the same when it comes time for our children.
Me and my dad got an interesting relationship. So my dad was definitely there, you know, when I was a kid. But we never have saw eye to eye. I've always felt like, you know, I've always been closer to my mom. My mom's taught me all the stuff that you talked about. My mom has taught me all of that. You know what I mean? And that kind of contributed to how I wanted to parent my son, which was, you know, I wanted to make sure I'm there and present. But and teaching him stuff, which my dad, I feel like a lot of things he didn't teach me. He didn't really teach me how to be a man. I feel like more so our relationship stemmed from, you know, him not having a dad and him just saying, well, I don't want to leave him hanging. Not necessarily. I want to get to know my son. I want to raise my son. I want to make my son in the image of me. So, or not even in the image, but let him be himself, but give him my ideals. So, I mean, with our relationship, it's kind of strictly, you know, we check in and stuff like that. You know, we'll talk from time to time, just like about like deep shit and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just kind of like a professional relationship. Like when he texts me, it's kind of, you know, it's real transactional, or you know what I mean. It's just like business. Like, you know, that's kind of how we talk. So that's the reason I really started to, you know, look within myself to like how I could be a better dad, because it's like it's more than being there. It's just about like, you know, learning who your kids actually are, you know what I mean? And letting them lean into that for real. And I feel like, you know, as a kid growing up, my dad didn't really let me do that, so we just kind of always bump heads. But.
So are any of y'all still with the mother of y'all child? Well, first, were y'all together when y'all found out that y'all had a baby on the way?
Me and my son's mom, we was in like kind of like a weird place.
Don't say that word.
What?
Y'all was in a situationship?
Hell, I don't even say the situation
we said over there.
Oh,
what did y'all say?
No.
My son's mom, but like basically, we was just like in a weird situation. Like, you know, I really, me and my son's mom, we had a like really good connection. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why we able to parent so well, because it's just like we understand each other. We understand each other, how each other click. But it's like, as far as the relationship, it just wasn't like, you know, it wasn't working. So it was kind of tough to leave that alone, because I was like my best friend. But in a sense, it's like, you know, I gotta get going and kind of find out like what I'm gonna do and what like who I like really want to be with for the rest of my life. So, you know, we was just in a weird situation.
So y'all not together?
Oh no, we're not together. No.
Co-parenting thing.
Yeah, co-parenting for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, in my case, I've known the mother of my child for a long time, since freshman year of high school. And then we actually made it official and like got into a relationship when I was a senior in high school. So we've always had our ups and downs, you know, and technically, if it comes to labels or what you're talking about, we weren't together when we had our child, but we've always been there for each other, you know what I mean? So in my eyes, you know, I look at her as if we are together even to this day. You know, things get rocky, but in the end, I still have hope. You know, that one day we'll be like a whole family. But
That's nice.
it was kind of hard for me because, you know, I always envisioned myself having like, if I was gonna have kids, I was gonna have a
That's
family.
what I was gonna ask too.
Yeah, I wanted to have a family, so it was just like I was grateful because I ain't gonna lie, like I've seen like a lot of my homeboys and stuff like that. Their situation's bad. It's like, you know, I never wanted to be into it or nothing like that with my son's mom. So it was just like I was glad that it was her in a sense because I know it could have been anybody else, and then I could have been, you know, stress. And I'm not saying it would have just been her. It could have been me too. But we just worked so well. It was just like, you know, we gonna figure it out whether we gonna be together or not. You know, we gonna support each other. We gonna make sure hold each other accountable in terms of being parents. And you know what I mean. We gonna rock this shit out until, you know, we don't got to no more. We gonna be in each other's life for forever. So it was just like, you know,
that's what's up though that y'all have that understanding.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people, I mean, a lot of co-parents don't.
Yeah, and I never wanted to be that because I didn't see my parents going, you know what I mean, getting to it. My parents weren't together, so it was just like,
same.
Man, it was just like, I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to deal with that type of stuff. I'm so laid back, man. It just be like, it don't even be that, like, stuff make me mad, but then it make me mad for a split second. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like, whatever.
So I was talking about this with the moms in the Mother in Our 20's episode. We were talking about staying together for the baby. How do y'all feel about that? Does that make things worse to stay together for the baby? Does it actually work, or is it just really?
It definitely depends on the situation. So I don't think there's a blanket statement for that because it's like everybody's situation is different. But I think in most cases it can make things worse because there's no need to force it. Basically, I don't think that love should be forced at all. So don't just force it just because y'all have a child together. Because there are a bunch of situations that work out with co-parenting. It just comes with understanding on both sides. So it's like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with just staying together just because you have a child.
For me, you gotta think about your kid, the good of your kid too. Like, it might feel comfortable to stay together and stuff like that, but you know, kids can feel stuff. Whether, you know what I mean, y'all never argue in front of the kid or whatever, you can feel whether your parents love each other and stuff like that. And I never wanted to bring my son into no situation like that. So it was just like, you know, I couldn't do that.
I'm saying if it comes to like this fifth, sixth
Yeah,
time.
it's like you gotta get. No, I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Just screaming at each other and y'all arguing in front of the kids.
It's
losing control.
It's
losing control of y'all emotions. It's like, man, this is just wow. Because I'm like, we the same almost, and like, just. I'm like, I'm too chill. Like, bro, I don't want to be over here yelling in front of my son and like, man, that's just not the move. I'd rather just walk away. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And it's just like so many other things you can do, even if y'all do have a child together, and even if y'all want to take some space, go see a counselor or something. Like, there's ways to work through it. You just gotta want to try. But at the end of the day, you should always want what's best for your child.
Exactly.
And that's just the end of it.
So you're co-parenting. How is that? Like, what are the boundaries as far as if she wants to date? Can other men be around your child? Do you have a discussion about that? Can you bring women around your child?
Man, all right. So I'm a person that's like, I hate hypocrisy. So like, I'm never gonna bring no woman around my son unless I got the okay from my BM or my son's mama. But
So you have asked permission?
No, I have not. But it's solely because I want to make sure that I'm not bringing a bunch of women around him, and I would expect her to do the same for me or for him, because like, I just don't think that's that's healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Also a respect thing.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm gonna show you respect every time. Like, you feel me?
I'm not gonna bring no random female, even if she's not random. But I'm not gonna bring a female that my son is like. I'm not. That just don't make any sense. And I would hope that she wouldn't do
the same thing. Yeah.
Don't get homeboy smacked.
And the thing is too, it's like for me, it's like, okay, like, I'm not looking for permission, But like the thing is, it's like I feel like okay, if this is somebody that I care about and stuff like that, and I'm coming to you and I'm saying this is how I want to meet my son, then I think that like you should at least take it into account. And I'm like, if you say no, and it's not a rational reason, it's just kind of like some bullshit, then I'm gonna just be like, I mean, I respect your opinion, but
Yeah.
if it's not like, if you just saying because I don't like her or something like that, then it's just like, okay. But if you like, oh, she do this, that, and the third, she like drugged up or something like that, I'm like, okay, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just like some petty or something like that, because I wouldn't be petty with you.
Oh, so you would be the same way? Like, hey, I met this guy. I really like him.
Yeah,
Because
of
in
course.
your
Like,
situation, y'all are
Y'all
like strictly co-parents.
yeah, we strictly like it's not. It's never.
There's
It's
no
not
blurred
like
line.
no
There's no blurred
feelings
line.
there.
no, like I love
Well,
my
of
son.
course, but
Yeah,
like
but
not in that way.
yeah, not that way. Of course, like we so cool. Like
That's good.
we always wanted a stable environment for our kids. Like you know what I mean, or about our son. I'm never gonna stop her from doing that. Like my son and mom moved to Columbus. You know what I mean? So like I get in.
Y'all go back and forth.
Yeah, every week. At first I was angry because I feel like she just sprung it on me, but I mean, I want her to be able to excel and prosper the way that I feel like I have been able to. And if, she wasn't able to do that here, she's from Columbus, if she wanted to go back home, then that's what she got to do. You know what I mean? So I always been like that, though.
That's good. That's mature.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? You feel the same way? I mean, although your situation is different. Y'all are together right now.
Mm.
Okay. So y'all aren't together right now, so how would you feel if y'all don't get back together and if you wanted to bring someone else around, or she met somebody and wanted to bring them around?
I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm aware. I am aware that this is about to sound like super
Crazy.
double standard. I don't have any desire to bring another female around my son. And to like any guys out there, I'm gonna post the mother of my son today, and I'm gonna post my son. So y'all know what they look like. And if I catch you around my son, it's not gonna be good.
I ain't gonna do that.
I'm not gonna lie to
I ain't
you.
gonna do that.
Every say I'm not doing that. So how y'all feel about guys that don't take care of their kids?
That shit lame.
So can y'all be friends with them?
No.
Nah.
Really?
No. I mean, really.
Okay, that's
Like,
good.
seriously.
Because a lot of guys enable their friends' behaviors.
I ain't gonna say, oh look, all right.
You talking about a deadbeat, like.
Not in their child's lives, probably.
I mean, there are some men that struggle being in their child's lives because their mother of their child
Now
makes
that's
it hard.
different.
Yeah.
That's
But if you're
different.
talking about a complete deadbeat,
Yeah.
because I know a few of them that be on the cinema page.
Shit.
I know y'all out there. Your son 3 months old. Your son 3 months old. And
Tripping. You outside.
Never even met him.
You
That's
outside
disgusting.
though.
You might as well be a pedophile, bro. You
Yeah,
are the
facts.
scum of the earth.
Kill him.
I don't understand that.
Kill
How
him.
you gonna bring a child into the world
No,
and
for
not
real.
being their life? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Facts.
You
gotta be stand up because you was
You was
standing
man
up to
enough.
stand up and do whatever you
man
did.
enough
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can be a daddy.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, good.
You was man enough to do the wiggle and bump.
Yeah, facts.
Right.
But
The
you
hoochie
don't wanna-
coochie,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Raise your child. That's not cool, man. That's
Yeah.
not cool at all.
So y'all are boy dads.
Mhm.
How important is it for y'all to have y'all son be able to come to y'all emotionally about things and feel like they have that space to do that?
That's very important to me because, my family, like they were not like that until I got grown. Like, you know what I mean? So like it was always like tough love. Like you meet my great grandma's cousin, shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? She's just real gritty. Like, and that's who raised me outside of my mom. So my mom was a little bit more loving because she was one of those people that like didn't get a lot of the love that other people around her got. So, you know what I mean? That was a little bit whatever, but she was still rough and tough too. So I implemented a little bit of that with my son, but also it's like I wanted him to be sure like he can come to me like as a man. You don't gotta feel soft, you ain't gotta feel like no type of way because, it like you entitled to feel a certain type of way. Now I do try to guide them and get them to understand that everything is not worth crying over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like emotionally, I want him to be able to come to me and tell me like this is how I feel, this is what I think or whatever, and us be able to have a real conversation. I'm never gonna down him or make him feel less than, but I'm gonna give him game like every time. So what I mean, I always want my son to be able to come to me and be emotionally open with me.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's definitely becoming more common.
Yeah,
like as time goes on, like because we all know stories about like our grandparents, like back in the day, like like none of that, like,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
and it's just about finding that balance. You don't. I mean, obviously, as a boy dad, there is something still there where you don't want to raise them like, I don't want to say soft, but for lack of a better term,
with thin skin.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to have thick skin.
But it's like I ain't never. Well, I ain't gonna say I ain't never, but am I like from mid-teens to now? I ain't never had a filter with my parents. Like I go to my parents about anything. I feel like, in a sense, it'll make it a little easier for me to build that same space for my son.
A lot of times you get kids, they scared to voice their emotions and stuff like that, so they gotta suppress who they are. Like, and I never wanted my son to feel like he had to suppress who he was to me or to anybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Because I think that that's important for you to be authentic in any situation that you're in. So that start,
Yeah.
as a jig, you know what I mean? And I recognize the importance of that because I was a person that went through that where you know what I mean? I feel like I couldn't be open with my pops, or I couldn't be open with certain people, and it's like then I gotta suppress like who I am. I'm in a shell all the time.
And
you know what I mean?
Transfers into the real world.
It does, bro.
Elementary school. It does. Like just talking about our sons, like elementary school, middle school, and high school as they get older. And me personally, I ain't never ducked no judgment when it comes to being myself. So I would never want my son to feel like he had to do that. You know what I mean? Just be yourself, man. Emotions and all. That's all it is.
So has having a child changed y'all viewpoint on dating? Do y'all feel like dating with intentions is a priority now?
Not for me.
All right, so for me, I would say for me, having a kid or having a son didn't really change my perspective. Age did more so, like, you know what I mean? As I started to get older, it's like, man, I'm about to be 30, like, I can't.
Alright.
Who about to be playing with a 30-year-old man with his son? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Like, for a woman who is like, I don't want to like, put tears on it, but like, top of the line, she got her own thing going. You know what I mean? She's a good one. Yeah, she's not playing. So it's like you're not her first choice. She's not gonna choose to be a stepmom. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that's what I mean in a sense. Like, she might like you, but she's not gonna choose your situation. You feel me? So I always was like,
I don't know, bro. I think you can get her, bro.
Huh?
I think you can get her, bro.
Oh man, come on. but no, I just feel like a lot of times, like, as time goes on, it becomes harder to step into a kid's life and stuff like that. Like, a kid is 6, 7, 8. It's kind of tough to come in there and be somebody's stepmom, like, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. They might.
I applaud the women that do it.
Yeah, it's a tough job. It kind of made me change my perspective. Like, all right, I need to get my shit right before.
So now you feel like you're dating with intention, like you're not just having fun, or do you feel like you're just having fun?
I'm for sure dating with intention, but like that's not my primary. I mean, it's not my primary goal. It's like I want it to be organic. You know what I mean, and for it just to happen the way I want it to happen. So, I mean that's the way I've been looking at it though.
I'm in a totally different boat because I just feel like me and like the mother of my son, we've been through so much. I'm just kind of like cold, like numb to it all. I don't have any desire to date, to be honest. And like, even if I don't know. Honestly, I just want to like fix my family, basically.
You want to have that
family,
yeah. So your heart is over there with your child's mother and everything. Okay, that's understandable. I asked that question because the moms were saying that you shouldn't be dating with no intentions. You shouldn't just be, having sex out here, just like no protection. So, do y'all feel like that changed y'all thought process on like who y'all having sex with?
about sex. I'm celibate.
Nah, it definitely changed you because you're like, I can't do this shit again. Like, I can't.
DJ Flash, she on some.
Oh, she on some police. Nah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it real.
People want to know
Like
because guys can just sleep around, and it's like it's whatever.
It definitely makes you think twice.
Okay.
Like you like, I can't be just out here just doing anything because like man, it can happen again. Then what I got two, and we might not be together. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely makes you kind of double back twice. And be like, I don't know if I should go through with this, or I might need to wear a hat or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
okay.
Yeah.
My advice is just stay away from them, bro. Be celibate, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know, I got a little thing going on, so this is like.
Oh, you talking to someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little booty butt.
Yeah. So it's not true that guys be stuck on their baby mamas after that, because you know people say that they always gonna be messing with them.
I feel like it just depends. Like me and my son's mom, we were so
cool.
So not even so cool, but we had got to the point to where we was already like kind of coexisting, like you know what I'm saying. We had lived. She lived in one of the hills. I stayed with her after I graduated, and I moved out downtown, and it was just like. You know, I mean, while we was living together, it was just kind of like we was taking care of the kids, but we was taking care of each other too. But it wasn't nothing romantic about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I'll come home, make sure she's straight and stuff like that because I'm there.
Yeah.
But in a sense, it's just like we just kind of like roommates almost. Like I fuck with you, like you know what I mean. So it was just like that type of situation. So you know, once he kind of got there and stuff like that, it was just like whatever. You know what I mean? It was easy.
Do y'all feel like y'all need guidance on anything right now as a parent? Like, is there anything y'all struggling with as a dad right now?
I feel like I always need guidance. Like I've never been a dad before. You know what I mean? So it's like my son is 3. I never had 3-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's turned 4. So it's just like different stuff like about schooling and stuff like that. Like I need to get other people's not guidance but their opinion so I can weigh them. And if it's like if it's valid, then I'm gonna take some. Like from it, I might apply it, but if it's not, then I'm just just throw it away. But I'm always seeking guidance because I've never been in this position before. I think just like tapping in with different people in your life that you respect and you value their opinion. I think that it can never hurt.
When you have dad friends or mom parent friends in general, sometimes guidance happens accidentally, just in conversation.
For sure.
So what do y'all love about being a dad?
I love everything about it for real. It's not even I love being a dad. It's like I love my son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like it's a hard job because it's like man, my son he eat like a grown man. Like you know what I mean? And just like I like to keep him. I never one of those people that's like to get super fresh or like that like to spend money on kids and stuff like that. But I think it's important he got nice stuff so he understand the importance of keeping your stuff nice. So it just be like stuff like that, you breaking the bank, bro. But it's like I love you so much, so I'm gonna make sure you're straight. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm gonna do stuff with you. Like I took him to Florida last year. He just came back. He was just with my mom, and then went back this year. It's like I want to give him experiences and stuff like that because I love him so much, and I think that that in turn just comes with the territory of being a good dad and just being a dad. So I'll say. Not necessarily about loving being a dad, but I just love my son. So it's just
I'm the same way, and that love is definitely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
come right away.
Even like the little things. Like I love like waking up in the morning.
Yep.
Like excuse me, like going in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And like he up on his little bars on his crib. Like like and he's smiling. It's just like it hits your heart way different. It's like a whole different feeling. And like it's just it's a lot to love about it. Honestly, it's hard to put it in words.
Yeah. Like my dad, he told me like the other day. He was like, I wish I would have been able to teach you more and stuff like that. It's just like, man, I'll take that with me every day because like I never want my son to be able to like look at me and be like, I wish you would have did more. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just like I always just like kind of wake up on some emotional stuff with him. Like, I just want to mostly be there. I want to be there for, like, the small stuff and just, like, you know what I mean, just love you the right way. You know what I mean? It's just.
I'm gonna go hard about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hard every time, bro, because that's what they need. They kids, bro. Like they need somebody to go hard for them. So I'm gonna be the one to step every time.
Yeah, for sure.
So would y'all have more kids? Are y'all open to that?
Of course. What do you think?
Yeah.
I have more. It's gonna take the right situation. It's gonna take the right.
They gonna have to be your girlfriend, or you want to be married?
Wife.
Yeah, they gotta be the wife.
You have a limit, like some people like. I can see myself. I want like 3 kids, or you know what I mean.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, man.
You a big family man.
So since we keeping it real, I didn't want 1 kid at first. Like I didn't want no kids, but.
Look, now you hooked.
Now it's like I don't want my son to grow up by himself.
No, I feel like that's so lonely being the only child.
Yeah, like you know, and it's boring. Like your parents get old and stuff like that. Like sometimes I only want to play with Ace. It's like, man, I got to, because who else is gonna play with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll send him with his cousins and stuff like that. I got a big family, so. But
what you thinking? 5?
I'll say
you want that.
I'll say I'll have. If I have a girl the next one, it's a dub.
Yeah. I used to
tell
the mother of my son that like we gonna try for a girl. If we get a boy, we gonna try.
You gonna
get a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to be a girl dad. Like.
Yeah. Okay, so any advice for the men in their 20s with children or about to have a baby? What would y'all tell them?
Just be there. Like we covered throughout this episode, like that the little efforts go a long way, and the big efforts go even a longer way. You just gotta try, basically. Yeah. It's like you'll be surprised how easy it'll come once you actually start to try. Show that love and affection, and just be there.
Definitely be there, and it's not about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not about the mom or nothing like that. Like, you gotta understand, like, now you bring a little person in this world, y'all both gonna be each other's lives for the rest of y'all lives, so make the best of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why would you want to make your life hell by being rude to your son's mom, your girlfriend, whatever? And, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure that y'all both are, like, creating a relationship beforehand so that y'all able to better co-parent, better, communicate if y'all not together, but if y'all are together, make sure y'all putting the right mechanisms in place for y'all to be able to, talk stuff out. Y'all disagree on stuff. Like, make sure y'all doing the work in the beginning, because when that baby come, it's go time. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. That's good advice. Thank y'all so much for joining. I loved everything I had to say. It's giving growth, mature, great dads. We need more good dads. But thank y'all so much, and that's a wrap.